Howdy, folks, and welcome to part B. You've got to see the love. You've got to feel the love and gratitude compass. And I start with this, which is where we finished in part A. Spirit operates with possibilities, appreciates everything, and expects nothing. That's the way we were born. And I often think about the way my daughter sees the world. And then I relate to how I saw the world at that age of 3, 4, 5, 6. See how things go for you when you operate from spirit as opposed to ego. Appreciate everything and expect nothing. And then I'm pretty sure your mindset, your bubble of reality gets better with every day. You see, if someone is invested in a point of view, changing topic here a little bit, don't waste your time. Give them the space to shift themselves, because your constant attempts to shift their thinking will not work. And a conclusion of collapsing the field to only one outcome will occur for these people. Give them the space to shift. You can't force it. You'll never change their mindset until they start to look towards you to see how you're going in your life. Then they might ask the question. Again, it's not about conclusions, it's about possibilities. Not like this guy who thinks he needs to know the conclusions of some other people that he hasn't even met when it comes to big decisions sometimes. And then there's these people, this is the character that can often be the pompous bully that everyone's scared of, that has all the power, that no one wants to upset. And then as a consequence, everyone allows themselves to be under his or her thumb. And, we believe in these conclusions because they are real to us, until someone comes across this character who carries on about their normal way and doesn't accept it and says, "Are you having a bad day?" And all of a sudden, that character, in response, is unable to be that bully, pompous character anymore. You see, we believe in these conclusions until someone proves it wrong. Are you having a bad day? Think about that. If someone is really starting to pick on you in the workplace, just say that. Are you having a bad day? Are you okay? With compassion, of course, not cynicism or sarcasm. You see, are conclusions nothing but repeating self-fulfilling prophecies from a bad experience? A bit like this burger that keeps repeating on you. Quick, you better find the bathroom before it gets embarrassing. Look beyond those conclusions and break the prophecy. Look past those past conclusions where you're looking into your past, where you have failed before perhaps. Break the prophecy. Learn from them and keep moving forward, making a match with the physical universe. Look beyond the knee-jerk thinking. These are just machines running in your mind. Look beyond your models of reality, your mental models, and break out of the prison of the minds of conclusions, and embrace your power to disagree with the mundane and the ordinary. Get out of that box that we all live in. The conclusions we've all drawn, the cynical people, the brightness that goes out of it, and disagree with the mundane and ordinary people. Have you ever met a happy cynic? Leave the parts of you that thinks that you know everything already about everything in the past, and learn to live open-minded and on purpose. Strengthen your connection to the infinite and ask the universe for help. It's amazing. Ask and you shall receive. There's been only a couple of times in my life, but I've done this. People have suggested, or a trusted confidant suggested this to me, and you know what? It really does work. You see, if you conclude on the things of the past, you are doomed. How? So how do you get over this? Stop identifying with the conclusions. And again, your ability to know the truth. There are 7 billion different versions of reality on Earth. So hold your vision over your eyes and look into the physical universe of what you need, what solutions are there to help you get from A to B, and away from your mental models. Oh, Nathan, you're 47. You're too old. Just enjoy yourself. You shouldn't be aiming so high. You're about to break down. You're becoming an old man. Bullshit. There are guys in their 50s and 60s that are running faster than I did at my most stallion prime, and better than the guys that are doing that now. The answers are there. The help is there. So how do you know what you are really looking at? I mean, you could say just about anything is realistic these days. We live in magical times. Look at the phone and what you can do with the phone, or any sort of examples of technology. So again, is it the truth, your mental models, or is it a delusion or bad software? You see, it's easy to believe we are not being offensive or defensive when you are looking into your mental model. It all looks the same from our point of view. But there is an easier way to know when you are identified, when you are not identified with your material mind. To get away from that, we need to do something else. And it's more than pumping blood. There are taste buds in our heart. It's about using our heart. And this is a better way to validate an individual's ability to know. If you have an open heart and you feel authentic gratitude for everything the universe has to offer, you have an open mind and far more accurate perception. You really do. Think about those times when you're at your best. If you're at your best, you see your best, and better things happen. So you've got to see the love. Maybe even get some glasses like this guy. Maybe not. Why not? Anything's possible. And this is really a great read. I was exposed to it at the age of 21, and perhaps at that phase of my life, too immature to really appreciate the message, which is about the universe and the importance of just listening to your heart. Because what happens if you don't? Well, your heart will stop talking to you because it doesn't want to hurt you. So listen to your heart and connect to the infinite. So why should we put our heart in charge of our brain? Well, love and gratitude are our natural state. And when we are in our native point of view, we are simply at our best. Imagine someone that is micromanaging you in the workforce. You know, it's a really painful situation. It's really upsetting you. It's making you anxious, and you are getting angry, and you don't want to be treated like this anymore. So you confront the situation. Well, when you come from this mental mind state, this will end in a distasteful situation, more likely. So but if you have gratitude and love in your heart, you start to feel bad for the person. Like, wow, this guy, this girl, she's really losing it. He must be really having a bad time in his or her personal life. So when you take that area or that stance of compassion, you achieve a balance. So stay in a native state of love and gratitude. Keep the heart open. They will feel that. And you know, if these things keep happening over and over again in the workplace, then it's time to move on. Because you know what? The other side is too painful. You know, oh, I can't leave the job for family security. Then you become eventually a cynical, resigned person because of it. So follow your heart. It's time to move on. The answers are there. Look in the physical universe. Better things exist, not the old better the devil you know. That's the way I thought for so long, keeping my old job at Knox, prepared to put up with so much. When you know what, there is so much better out there, and I found it. I'm very grateful. Confront with boldness and compassion every situation we encounter if you want to keep your heart open. But if you close it off, your perception is incorrect. Okay, so the longer you keep your heart closed, the logic will cease to be that workable. So make sure you keep the heart open. And if you want to be proactive, the feeling of love is your guide. And the feeling of love indicates your connection to the infinite, whatever that may be. You see, you know you are bigger than the sum of your situation or situations. You are bigger than you think you are. Thinking is mainly from mental mind, so you do not need to feel threatened. You produce these thoughts. Think about the biggest people in history. I think of Martin Luther King. They were bigger than the circumstances. So at the end of the day, lead with your heart. Trust the universe. Trust the process. Connect to the infinite. At the end of the day, we are each other's environment. It's a basic rule of life, and that is we must live in the reality we create for others. Now, some would challenge this and say, that is crazy, man. Well, I can tell you someone who doesn't live like this, whose circumstances who are not like this. But listen, on a big enough timeline from start to finish, via our mental minds and comparisons, this is definitely what is happening for every person. We are one, the Tao, the oneness. And the more we are working together, the more we can achieve on this planet for the greater good. And also think about this. What if you could be more causative to transform your life and the world than you ever thought possible? What if I really do have the power, or you have the power? We need each other for survival. We need each other for company and shared experience, and we need each other to procreate. We need each other to have any kind of meaning in life. The greatest punishment you can get in jail is solitary confinement. Why? Because it is the complete antithesis, the opposite of what we are built and made to do. Love is the way. See you for part C.